Hello and welcome to Culture Shark, a live stream about all things pop culture. I'm Final Monkey,
And I'm Caleb.
and today we are continuing our look at some of our favorite movies that have kind of flown under the radar. This is one that I picked. The host, Caleb, had not seen this movie.
Nope.
This is by Bong Joon Ho, who is a director you may have heard of. He has made Parasite and Snowpiercer and Mickey 17 and some other stuff. So, director I usually like. Sometimes he misses, but when he hits pretty good.
He just doesn't like Monkey 17, Mickey 17.
Yes, yes. Mickey 17 was so yeah.
uh,
Um, so this is one I feel like people don't talk about enough. Uh, but I think it's a
I
pretty good movie.
so I think one of the problems is it gets confused because there is a book like one of those teeny bopper
Yeah, there's a
books
Stephanie Meyer book that's also called The Host.
it- that's called The Host, and then a movie version of it came out,
Hmm.
and so I think that's one of the big problems is it just gets confused.
Right. So we'll do a quick non-spoilery, just of what this movie is, and then we'll get into spoilers. So basically, this is a movie where the set in South Korea, where the U.S. Army has dumped chemicals into the river, which has created a river monster, and we are watching a dysfunctional family deal with the river monster, and the main character's daughter gets abducted by the river monster, and they're trying to rescue her. That's the basic plot.
Yeah, that as bare bones as you can get.
Yeah, and
It's definitely more complicated than that.
sure, sure. I think this movie, you get a little bit of everything. You get comedy. It can be scary at times. It's sad at times. It's all over the place
Oh yeah.
with the emotions, and I think it's great. Uh, some of the scenes are just laugh out loud funny. They're very funny.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. I think some of the best scary or horror movies have those moments. Like um, I don't know if I told you this. We did see Weapons, and that movie's hilarious.
it is. It's funny.
But it's
Weapons is
also
great. Yeah.
haunting.
Yes. Yes. It is.
So
The
I think that's a sign of a good horror movie is if it's also funny.
I'll be vague, but the scene of the guy at the lawnmower at the end, just watching the commotion at the end of that
Oh,
is
yes,
hilarious.
I loved it.
So, uh,
I thought the guy who kept getting up and then and then Josh Brolin had to keep throwing him to the ground.
yeah,
That's great.
yeah, that is a great movie. So the host, if you want to check this out, you could check it out on, I think it was on Tubi and Amazon Prime. It was all over the place. So, I highly recommend it. I think it's a good one. The solid
Yeah,
and
I, I enjoyed it. I think that of his three films, because I haven't seen Mickey 17 yet, I definitely need to. But of the three that I've seen, this is probably my least favorite. My favorite being Snowpiercer. I love Snowpiercer. Um, but I mean, bronze is not a bad score for a director of this caliber.
yeah, I think I like it better than Parasite. I think I need to see Parasite again. I think I got my expectations way too high for Parasite going in.
Well, I mean, it
Um,
won best.
yeah,
It won best picture.
yeah, and so yeah, this movie it's great if you like Godzilla movies or those types of films. I think this is an interesting take on that type of film.
Uh,
Um,
Also, did you sense that this movie seems more familiar nowadays. Like, you know what I mean?
I think it seems more important than when it came out, if that
Well,
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. It's I'm trying not to spoil anything, but it
All
is
right.
kind of, you know how like everyone was watching Contagion like 5 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah. This came out in 2006, pre-pandemic, and it definitely predicted some stuff. So let's get into spoilers. But before we get into spoilers, I think this is a recommend from both of us.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into spoilers. This movie, one of the big themes is uh, don't trust the government. The government, um, if the government causes the problem, the government stops them from fixing the problem, and if the government had just gotten out of the way, they would have been able to solve the problem a lot faster, and things may have turned out differently. And I think that's why at the end of the movie, the final shot is them turning off the TV and just shutting up the government. They're like, okay, we are done listening to them.
Yeah.
So, um,
I
but
mean,
yeah,
there's that one comedian. I can't remember his name, but he's very particular. He's the black comedian with the lisp. I feel like some people know who I'm talking about. I can't think of his name. I'm sorry. But he's like, you don't believe in any government conspiracy theories. You don't believe in any of them. You just think they're batting 1,000. Like, I I've been put in charge. I'm a father. I've been put in charge of one person, and I lie to him all the time.
this is true. This is very true. So let's go over the plot real quick. We have this
Yeah,
dysfunctional family. I do not know their names, so it's going to be you have
I
the
I, I know it's the Park family. I know it's Park.
yeah. So we have the the grandfather, and he runs a food stand on the riverbanks, and he's his son, who's the main character, who's the actor that's in like all of uh uh Bong. I'm gonna forget everybody's names here. I'm so bad at this. Bong Joon Ho, all of his movies, this guy kind of shows up in. Um, he's the main character, and at first you think he has like narcolepsy, but really he has a protein deficiency or something where he falls asleep all the time, and he's kind of a mess. He's kind of a slackerish, and like he's delivering food, but he's eating the food before he gets there and stuff. So he's not, he's not like your hero type character. Um, his brother is a college graduate and a protester, but he's also an alcoholic. And then his sister is a archer Olympian, but she always hesitates, and that always costs her the gold because she can never take the final shot. And then the main character also has a daughter, um, who's the one who gets kidnapped by the creature. Um, and so the army dumps chemicals into the river, which creates this creature, this mutation. The creature, it's kind of like lizard-like, but it's also kind of like a combination of fish, and it kind of swings around like a monkey, like by its tail, like it
Mhm.
it grabs onto the bottom of bridges, like a monkey swinging around and stuff.
Yeah. So I did a little bit of research on this. Um. Apparently, Bong Joon Ho wanted to make a Godzilla movie for the longest time.
Hmm.
And that definitely tracks. Um, it's super weird because like, so for those who have been keeping up with the channel, Cameron and I have been going through Cameron and I have been going through like the Metroid games, and this feels like a Metroid boss. Like this is like a
Yeah.
Parasite Queen or something.
Hmm.
But I mean, here's the thing: when it comes to stuff like this, you want to hide your creature, and then once you reveal that creature has to pay off. I think it pays off. I think it's a really cool design.
Yeah, and most a lot of times it's underwater, but it's also very mobile on land. It's like one of those lizards that runs real fast. I think they call them Jesus Christ lizards because they run on they can run
Yeah,
on water.
yeah,
That's kind of what it's like, and it's like a train coming at you, and you just try to get out of the way, and but also it's clumsy. Like it'll fall over and stuff. It does remind me of like a video game villain. Like it falls over, and that's your time to attack.
yeah. That's the damage phase.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for all intents and purposes, I mean, it is a kaiju. It's really interesting.
Yeah. But this isn't your typical monster movie where it's just like, monster destroying the city for 2 hours.
Yeah,
This is more about
this
the
is not
family.
Cloverfield. This is not Cloverfield.
Yeah, this is about this family, and he's trying to rescue his daughter at the beginning, and there's commotion. He grabs her hand, they take off running, then he looks back and he's grabbed the wrong girl's hand, and the monster grabs her with his tail and dives into the water, and they assume that she is dead. Um, and so they have this memorial, and you kind of see the family being brought back together by this tragedy, and you start to see how dysfunctional they are, how they're fighting. And the fight scene's hilarious, where his brother like Joe
Yeah,
kicks him and stuff, and the press is all taking pictures of him and all this, and it's tragic because his daughter got, but you can't help but laugh at how crazy they are, and I think that's one of Bong. Gosh, I'm gonna keep screwing up his name. Bong Joon Ho's skills is these characters that you laugh at, care about, and they're a lot of fun. These characters are.
oh yeah.
Um, so along the way, they if the government starts saying there's a virus, and there was an American soldier that got, I think he lost his arm to the monster, and he develops this rash and all this stuff, and so everybody starts freaking out over the virus, and people are getting quarantined, and there's all this news media about the flu-like symptoms, and everybody's getting scared of everything, and man, he predict a lot with this movie.
Oh yeah.
For 2006, so this is like, what, 15 years before the pandemic, or somewhere around there. uh yeah. He predicted a lot, and just the way that whatever the government says is gospel, and people are going to believe it, and no matter what. And there's a great scene where they're all standing on the corner, and the one guy starts coughing, and everybody's kind of like, oh no. They all start like moving away from him, and he
Oh my
spits into the
god. Yeah.
puddle, and then the car hits the puddle and splashes everybody. It just cracks me up. It was too real.
Oh yeah.
That
No,
was too real.
that that's the thing. Like it's so surreal. It's like that movie Contagion. Like
Yeah.
it's so surreal. It kind of reminds me of so for me, because I didn't see this beforehand. I didn't watch Contagion beforehand. I hadn't seen that. For me, it was actually it was the Spider-Man Insomniac game on PS4. The third act takes place after Doctor Octopus releases a virus that causes like respiratory issues, and so they have to quarantine everybody. Like it's, I mean, and I think one of the signs even says 6 feet apart, and that was in 2017, I think.
Yeah. And what was great is when they asked, what's his name, Fauci or whatever. They go, "Why did you come 6 feet apart?" I go, "I don't know. It sounded good." Like,
Yeah,
there's no science behind it. They're
yeah,
just like, "Yeah, we just picked a distance," and it's like, what are we
yeah,
doing?
yeah.
but but we're it's hard not to talk about that while discussing this movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not saying I want to discuss it. It's just like it's going to come up because it is so relevant.
And what gets crazy is eventually the government captures our main character again because he has had direct contact with the creature. He had the blood sprayed in his face, and so the government starts realizing that the soldier he broke out in a rash, which could have been anything really. And so they're thinking, oh, there has to be a virus, but they cannot locate the virus anywhere. But they've already told everybody there is a virus. And what we failed to mention was the main character gets a phone call from the daughter, so that's how he knows that the daughter is still alive, and she has been trapped in a sewer layer with all these other bodies that the creature kind of it takes bodies and stores the food for later to eat later is basically what it's doing.
Hmm.
Um, and so the creature, so she's able to hide in the sewers where everybody else in that sewer is dead except for her. And she has a crappy phone they set up at the beginning, but she's able to get a call out to the dad. Um, and so that leads to the family breaking out and trying to uh, capture the monster. But the main character gets captured by the military at one point, and he's telling the American soldier, he's like, "My daughter's still alive," and he's like, I felt like this was the director saying, "Okay, I know people are going to nitpick. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you do this?" And the American soldier like goes through a list like, "Why didn't you call the news media? Why did you, why didn't you call the police or this or that or whatever?" But there's this great line from the main character where he says, "Please don't cut me off. My words are words too. Why won't you listen to my words?" And it's such a great acted scene of his frustration of, I've been telling people my daughter's alive. Nobody will listen to me. Why do you look at me as if I'm nothing? Don't
Right.
my words
Yeah.
matter? And that's why I think this comes across not as your typical monster movie. This is something more than just a monster film.
Well, and do you know what's like the super interesting thing? So I did not watch all of Squid Game, but I know pretty much the story beats of Squid Game, and I know like the themes of like the messages of Squid Game. These are
Mhm.
both Korean productions.
Yes.
Um, so I wonder if there is a little like because obviously uh, Korea is a divided place, literally divided, depending
Right.
on where you are in the world and whether you consider it two separate places. um,
Mhm.
and so I find it interesting because like we can relate this to modern day American culture because of how we dealt with the pandemic. But then there's also like what was going on in Korea in 2006 and then what's going on there now because we're getting the same messages in Squid Game 20 years
Yeah.
later.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's it's still a very relevant film, definitely. Um, yeah, so the doctors are like, well, obviously this guy is crazy. He's saying his daughter's still alive in the sewer. So again, they still don't believe him, and they think he has dementia. So they think, well, the virus is in his brain then, so we're going to drill into his brain.
Yeah,
And
and if it, one other thing that we didn't establish, part of his character is he's just not intellectual in general.
mhm, yeah,
He's not the sharpest tool in the shed. You know, and so like it's almost one of those things where it's like, you know, would you believe this guy if
yeah,
if this popped up? So it's not necessarily just it is one of those things where it's like, oh, it's frustrating because we've been following the main character. No one believes the main character, but at the same time, we know this guy is not the smartest. He does, and so it's like it's one of those things where like it's frustrating, but like in real world, understandable.
Yeah, and the other thing is, due to his protein issue, anesthesia does not work on him. And there's some horrific scenes of them drilling into his head, and the shot is just it's just like a not it's a like a one shot of just up above and him begging them to stop, and they just keep, treating him like he's not even there. It's horrific.
Yeah.
And that's why, I mean, this movie, I think it's a magic trick when a director can make you laugh one minute and cringe the next, and
Oh yeah.
he's quite good at that. The other thing that happens in the film is, the grandfather is trying the best. He basically gives up all his life savings to try to save his granddaughter. They buy weapons, and they get a truck and all the stuff. And he ends up dying, though. He ends up sacrificing himself to save the family. And I think this is the moment that his children have to step up and grow up and work together for the most part. And so the alcoholic son, he goes and figures out where the phone call came from, and he tells the sister, and she tries to take a shot at the creature and ends up getting knocked out. And along the way, we are introduced to two brothers that are homeless, and they too get abducted by the creature. The older brother dies, but the younger brother is now being taken care of by the granddaughter in the sewers. Some really touching scenes there, and again, horrific that these two kids are trapped in this sewer and them trying to survive, and them dreaming about having food and stuff when they're starving. And um, yeah, I just think this movie has some powerful scenes in it. And the both children end up getting gobbled up by the creature. The dad finally finds the sewer, but it's too late. Uh, the creature's gone, and then so now he's chasing the creature. And oh, the other thing is the government is going to release a gas um, to stop the virus.
Yeah, it's called Agent Yellow.
Yeah, a little on the
And that,
nose, but yeah.
yeah.
Given the horrific things that have been done with different gases with colored names throughout wars, yeah, it's I can get why the public does not trust this.
Well, and you know what's the interesting thing? I've noticed this recently. Um, the color yellow being used like as I've for some reason I've just seen it pop up a lot recently. The color yellow being used as like either the key to beating a bad guy, or like a way to turn it invisible or something like that. Because there's this where the Agent Yellow is like this toxic thing that's going to kill this beast. The Shyamalan movie The Village has the color yellow as a big thing to signify who is good, and red who is bad. 21 the band 21 Pilots, in their lore of their music videos, you wear the color yellow so that way you're invisible from the bishops. Like, it's something that I've noticed recently where like the color yellow for some reason is like this all powerful color in media, and I don't know why.
Yeah, and you also got to think the stoplights yellow is caution, and so we're all taught that as children. So
Yeah.
it's something that we are ingrained into us. I see that. The crazy thing is, though, is the government knows there's no virus, and they're still gonna spray all these people with this chemical. It's like
Yeah.
it's horrific. It really is.
Well,
And
it's so weird because it really does show you, and I mean, like here's the thing: we don't have proof of it. We do not have proof of it, but it's so real. We're like, how far will the government go to not admit their mistake?
yeah, yeah, and even at the end of the movie, you see them on the news. They're trying to say, "Well, there was misinformation," blah blah, and they cut it off. Like, we're tired of hearing your crap.
Yeah,
But yeah, so we get this final battle with the creature. There's all these protesters protesting the Agent Yellow. They're spraying the Agent Yellow into the crowd. The creature pops up and starts coughing from the gas and falls over. And so the dad reaches in, pulls out the two kids, and tragically his daughter has passed away,
yeah.
which
That
again
I
it,
didn't. I didn't call that. You know, it's I.
no, you don't. And that's not a American movie thing. The American movie, they would have saved the kid.
Well,
And I
no,
think because this is a
and then they're the two kids. I thought it was going to be the other one.
yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, there's the family, the realization that they failed the daughter. They were not able to save the daughter. Um, but then they have this final fight with the creature where they douse it with gasoline, and then the brother drops the cocktail, or the Molotov cocktail, and so the sister has to take the shot with the arrow, and she sets it on fire. Then the main character is able to stab it with a sign, and finally they're able to kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the family finally comes together, and then we have kind of a time jump, and now we see that the
Well,
son is not. Oh, go ahead.
uh, well, yeah. So, the time jump, they revive the homeless kid before the time jump. So
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah. They realize he survived.
yeah. I guess technically both of the kids died, but they were able to revive the homeless kid.
Yeah. Um. So in the time jump now, we see that the son is no longer dysfunctional. He's actually dressed like an adult, and he's raising the son as his own, and he's taking over the food shack. And so we see that through this process, I assume all three of the siblings have matured, and now they are living more successful lives. They're not quite as dysfunctional as they were.
Mm-hmm.
They were kind of forced to grow up through this situation. And like I said, the final shot is they're trying to find something to watch on TV, and they see the government holding this press conference, and they just turn it off. He's like, I don't want to watch that. And that's how the movie ends. Um, yeah, I think this is if you like monster movies, I definitely recommend you check this one out. It's I know people are like, oh, subtitles. No, I mean you you gotta check out the ones with the subtitles. There's some of the best movies.
Yeah. Well, and it's the weirdest thing. I think more and more, and it's all because of anime, right? It's all because of anime that subtitles are not as big of a deal anymore. Because,
Right.
like, maybe still for people like, I don't know, let's say my mom or my dad, but like my generation and younger, man, we all watch anime. Like,
Yeah.
that's actually I saw this thing on Instagram that's like it was a whole thing, and I agree with it, but it is still kind of a funny thing to think about. It's like youth pastors, you have to get into anime now if you want to relate to your kids in any way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so I think this movie, like I said, it's about family, about, not trusting the authorities, and just the pain you will go through for a loved one to try to save them. And
yeah.
yeah.
So fun fact. So the movie is called The Host here in America, but
Mhm.
it is called something else in Korea. Do you know what it literally translates to?
No, I don't know.
It's just called Monster.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's fun.
Yeah, that's all you
Um,
need.
I will say it is one of the weird things. Uh, I think that's a better name because I actually maybe you got this. I must have missed something. I don't know why it's called The Host.
They think that the main character is the host for the virus. The virus is in his head. That's why it's called the
Oh,
host. Yeah.
gotcha. That makes sense.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, it's not the best title, but yeah, I think the acting is great and the directing, of
That
course,
might
is
be
great.
another thing. That might be another issue. Is just that the title does not, uh, you know, it doesn't really describe the film. Maybe that's another reason when people haven't watched it because The Host is a very kind of a vague title, but it's not vague in the intriguing way, I guess. Because I mean, I'll be honest, that's one of the things that the name of the movie just never caught me. Like
Mm.
a title like Parasite, that's a title, you know.
Yeah,
That's an eye catcher.
but it's interesting that Host and Parasite are opposites. So he has one movie about the host, one movie about the parasite that affects the host. But anyhow,
That is really funny.
yeah. So, yeah, I don't know if maybe it was called like the River Monster or the Creature from the River or something that would have caught more attention in America. But
Yeah,
it's so
yeah,
difficult because there's so many of these movies
yeah,
that are just
yeah.
garbage.
You almost have to call it like something that's not even a word, like Cloverfield comes to mind. Honestly, you know, I mentioned kind of Cloverfield earlier. I there's a little bit of Cloverfield vibes in this, but this came
Mhm.
first, you know. So like maybe you could have named it something kind of like that, where like it's not necessarily like a word, like that would
Yeah.
have been more eye catching.
Yes, I think in other countries it was called the Gomel or something, like the name of the creature. So maybe something like that,
Yeah,
just like that would catch your attention. So yeah, a very interesting movie. Like we said, check it out, especially after the pandemic. It hits differently. I don't remember when I saw it, if I saw it before the pandemic or not. I can't remember, but
I'm looking it up. Apparently, this like had a huge boom post pandemic.
yeah, yeah, I would assume so. Um, yeah, so that is our show for the day. Next week, we're checking out another one of my favorite movies. We had planned to do this one a lot earlier. It just was not available streaming. And actually, you know what? Let me make sure it's still available
Yeah, yeah.
before I commit to it. Because last time I checked, it was free on YouTube. So let me just pull it up real quick. Da, 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 da. It's got a generic name, so it's not coming up. Hold on.
The Host.
Uh, oh, now it's set to buy or rent. It was free.
Okay,
Okay.
which one is it? I can't remember.
Sneakers.
Sneakers. Oh yeah. Let me see if it because at this point I'm fairly certain I have all major streaming services. It does not look like that it's streaming anywhere. Let's see. No, it does not look like this is streaming anywhere. It's buy or rent on Amazon. That's really funny, actually. You still there? Uh-oh. Let's see. Oh, you're muted now.
How about now?
There we go. Hey, hi there.
I don't know what happened.
I was like, am I gonna have to do the closing by myself? I don't remember I don't remember.
Yeah. All right. So we don't know what the movie will be next week. It may be that we may just move up our schedule a week. The animated Lion Witch in the Wardrobe. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's either gonna be Sneakers or Lion Witch in the Wardrobe animated. Unless that one disappears from YouTube also, we might be in trouble. So until then, I've been Final Monkey,
And I'm Caleb.
and we'll catch you next time in the deep end.
See ya.